Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Real Time, where we talk about the movies we like.
And the ones we don't.
I'm Tyler.
And I am Molly.
Today, we're going to be talking about Miracle on 34th Street. Both versions of them. It's basically the same story either way, so it's not going to be much back and forth of, which one is better or not. And honestly, at this point, we might as well just do both at the same time. So you're going to see both movies' footages back to back. So that'll make things a bit easier.
Yes, I mean, both of these movies are very similar. Not much really changes. One's old, one's new.
Although if you're a child of today, then they're both old to you.
That is true. What the new one is was released in like 94.
4.
That's older than me.
It's older than me.
Yeah, so I'm getting pretty old. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, you're gonna need a walker soon.
I know, I'm almost 30. Oh my gosh.
You old maid.
Yeah. Yeah, you're older than me, man.
Hush.
All right.
Anyways, so the original was made in 1947, and just to get this out of the way, since both movies have the same story, basically, a department store during Christmas time is, well, they hire a man for their Macy's Day Parade to be Santa Claus, and he also becomes Santa Claus in store for them. And he's basically the best Santa ever. He's good with kids. He knows Dutch or sign language if you're going by the '94 version. And if the store doesn't have what the parents are looking for the kids, then he tells them where to go so that they can get it. And eventually, he and a lawyer have to prove that he is Santa Claus, so that he doesn't get committed to the nut house.
Yep. Oh, excuse me. It's to me it's not very an exciting movie. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's just a nice, wholesome Christmas movie.
Yeah, more or less. Personally, I prefer the remake, but the original is good in its own right as well.
Yes, I'll have to agree with you. I like the remake more.
Now, the original stars Maureen O'Hara as Doris Walker, the basically the person in charge of Christmas stuff for Macy's, and she's the one who hires Kris Kringle, played by Edmund Gwenn. Uh, John Payne plays Fred Gailey, the strange man across the way in her apartment building, who she allows her daughter to hang out with before she even knows the man. That's a bit odd. The 1940s were an odd time.
Yeah, that whole situation is much more weird and kind of creepy in the older original version.
Yeah, because, guys, Charles Lindbergh's kid was kidnapped. These things were still going on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Natalie Wood plays Susan Walker, Doris's daughter, who is a bit wise for her, wise beyond her years, bit of a precocious child, but it. Wood's performance honestly makes you believe it. It could actually happen.
Yeah. She acts, wise beyond her years, and, yeah, you're right.
Now, in the remake, Elizabeth Perkins plays Dory Walker, basically the same character as is to be expected with remakes. But instead here they're not at Macy's, they're at Kohl's, but not Kohls, Coles. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe Macy's didn't allow them to use the name, but it's basically the Macy's Day Parade at the beginning too.
Yeah.
And Santa Claus this time is played by Richard Attenborough, more well known in this generation as being John Hammond in the Jurassic Park movies, the first two anyways.
Yes, he is.
And just right off the bat, this man is my absolute favorite Santa in any Christmas movie. He's he just delivers the right amount of warmth, the right amount of love for Christmas, and the right amount of really seriousness when it's needed. He's just incredible in this movie.
Yeah, he plays a really good Santa. I don't have any complaints with him.
I, I I'll even say he's better than Edmund Gwenn in the original Miracle on 34th Street. He's even better than the Santa Claus from Ernest Saves Christmas.
Wow. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell.
Dylan McDermott plays Brian Bedford, the same exact character as the lawyer guy from Across the Ways in the original. But this time it's a bit more understandable as to why Dory lets him just watch her kid unaccompanied. They're dating, so that makes a bit more sense.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to explain why their daughter or her daughter goes over to his house to watch the parade, or his apartment to watch the parade. So much safer.
Yeah. Speaking of her daughter, she's played by Mara Wilson, who right after Mrs. Doubtfire, right before her most well-known role, Matilda, she gives the same sort of precocious, wise beyond her years performance as Natalie Wood in the original. And honestly, I think she's given a little bit more to do in this one than Wood was in the original.
Yeah, she's more present throughout the movie. Yeah, she just seems to have a bigger role in the remake.
Yeah. We also get small roles from character actors James Remar and Robert Prosky as the bad guy's right-hand man and the judge overseeing the case, respectively. And they give the performances you would expect from actors of their caliber. Just some good work all around by both of them.
Yes, you're right.
Now, the original, I'm looking on IMDb for this info, actually got quite a bit of love from the Academy Awards that year. Edmund Gwenn actually won the Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
Oh, interesting.
It also won Best Writing for Original Story and Screenplay. Okay, I guess that's two different writing Oscars, but okay, whatever. And was nominated for Best Picture, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Now, more or less, these movies are basically the same. But I think the reason why I preferred the remake is, well, I like that they're able to expand on more things in this. They're able to go more into detail about really this whole story, the settings, and the characters. Makes things a bit more memorable and interesting.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you. I do think the remake is more memorable. Yeah, they're able to change the scenes up just a little bit to make them stand out in your mind better. Like, for example, the scene with the deaf girl just seems a little bit more touching, even though it's almost exactly the same as him as Santa Claus speaking Dutch. Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was Dutch.
Yeah, Dutch to the girl. I don't know. For some reason, maybe it was just more emotional how they did it, you know?
Yeah, I also think it has to do with the fact that, well, maybe due to the fact that sign language seems like it'd be more of a trickier thing to learn than another language, even though honestly they're both different languages, so they'd both be difficult in the same way and in different ways. That just seems more impressive that he knows that, as opposed to him being able to speak another language. That could be how it's perceived, honestly.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But either way, that scene with Santa signing to this deaf girl, it melts my heart every time.
Yeah, very wholesome.
Which Attenborough and the little girl didn't rehearse that together. He wanted her surprise to be, more legitimate. So the first time that he did it in front of her was the first time they did it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That makes it even more nice and happy.
Yeah, I also like how in the remake we see a whole lot more of the city rallying around Santa, like believing that he is Santa Claus. So that was nice too.
Yeah, it's nice to see, like, it makes the court case seem more like on the larger scale, and how we see that this Santa Claus has really impacted the community.
Yeah, because who doesn't want to believe in Santa Claus? I think everyone, and at least most people in our day and age when they were kids, probably believed in Santa Claus, maybe at some point. And when you find out he's not real, it's like, oh, well, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember I definitely believed in Santa when I was younger, but I don't really remember like the big reveal, or maybe it was just gradually I just kind of one clue led to another, and then I just didn't believe anymore.
Oh, my parents,
Yeah.
they just ripped the Band-Aid off one year. It's like, hey, he ain't real.
Oh.
Oh, thanks, Mom and Dad. That's great.
Yeah, I don't have anything like that. Like I don't have that big shock. Not in my memories, at least. Maybe it was so traumatic I blocked it out.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But do you really think your mom is the kind who would do it like that?
No, definitely not.
You think my parents are?
Yes. No,
Well, they
no.
did.
All right, let's continue on. I don't know what we were talking about.
Okay. So, um, so the first version of the original that was colorized was only used for TV broadcast and never released on home video. Which I don't see the point in colorizing black and white movies. That just seems unnecessary.
Yeah, I'm against it. Strongly against it.
There was going to be a sequel at one point. John Payne really wanted to make the sequel, and Maureen O'Hara claimed they talked about it, but he died before it could be produced.
Dang.
There was a 1973 remake, actually.
Oh, so what happened there?
Well, it never got a home video release, and it also disappeared from Netflix.
I didn't even know it existed.
Natalie Wood and her husband Robert Wagner were approached to play Karen and Bill, respectively, with Natalie's daughter to play Susan, but they all refused. They didn't want their daughter going into acting at a young age like Wood did.
Well, I do not blame them.
Yeah, and if you believe other things about Natalie Wood and Robert Wagner, I can't finish that sentence.
Yeah. Just move on.
Allegations and allegedly and all that.
Yep.
Suspicious, though.
Yes. Very suspicious.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, like I said, the little girl who played, the little deaf girl, Samantha Krieger, didn't know that Richard Attenborough was going to use sign language.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
And Mara Wilson has since come out and said that Richard Attenborough was the one who made her believe in, Santa and Christmas and all that. So that's nice.
Yeah, that is nice.
It's nice that for whatever problems she may have had as a child actor, which I don't know all of that, but I know that from other former child actors' experiences, not a whole lot of great stuff. At least she had some good co-workers watching over her during her work, like Robin Williams, Attenborough, and Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman.
Yes. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, these are a great couple of movies that I love watching every Christmas. I haven't gotten to for the last couple of years, but I'm glad I got to this year.
I never really watched them until I met you.
Yeah, I never watched them until I met you either.
Oh, so it just happened.
Yeah, I have no childhood nostalgia for these things. I started watching them as an adult, and I really like doing it.
Yeah, it's nice, yeah. I like if I'm gonna be honest, I could go without watching the original every year. But I think it is nice to put on the remake.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, yeah. I don't need to watch both of them, you know.
Well,
I know you do though.
well, we did watch them, back to back this year.
Yeah. We did not split them up.
We split them up by a day.
Yeah, I guess you're right, but you know, no movies in between is what I mean. But that's okay, you know.
It's cool. We're getting into other TV specials like the Boondocks and the other South Park Christmas episode.
Yep. Mhm.
But enough of that. Well, maybe we'll do another Christmas specials episode this year. Who knows?
We'll see. We're very busy.
Yeah, here and there. But we'll see you guys next time.
See you next time.